What is going on, everybody? I am HoopsandHipHop, and welcome back to yet another Pokemon Sword and Shield video. Now, this video in particular is going to be kind of interesting because it's a sort of theory type of video. It's more so just speculation than anything because I don't really have the evidence to quite call it a theory, but it's a very interesting idea I have nonetheless about the inner workings of the Galar Pokemon League and what is possibly going on behind the scenes. Speaking of behind the scenes, when it comes to the behind the scenes stuff for the channel, there's actually a lot of ideas and different things that I brainstorm that don't necessarily make it into an official YouTube video. And that's actually where the sponsor of today's video, Amino, comes into play. Amino is a social media app with an entire community dedicated to Pokemon content, and they recently added the ability to create stories. Just like on other platforms, you can make a story into just about anything you want, but I've actually partnered with Amino to bring you guys even more content with my own stories. In my stories, I'm creating what are essentially 1 to 2 minute versions of my normal videos, so it's really just more of what you love, and the best part is, not only is it completely free, but watching my stories over there directly supports the channel and will help me to keep doing this for you guys. So follow the link in the description or the pinned comment, or just search Amino on your phone's app store to download, and then search me up and give me a follow. So once again, thank you to Amino for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to it. So as I said earlier, today's video is going to be about my personal speculations at what could possibly be the nefarious true purpose of the Galar Pokemon League, Chairman Rose's possible nefarious true intentions, and how this kind of all circles together in relation to some other suspicions that the fanbase has had about other characters we've seen in the game. This is going to be a pretty fun one, and I'm excited to see what you guys think about it, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and check it out. So amongst all of the different information that was revealed in Monday's Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer, we were introduced to 2 new characters by the name of Chairman Rose and Oleana. Chairman Rose is basically the organizer of the Galar Pokemon League, and he's the guy that's responsible for making it as popular as it is. He's also a really big business tycoon and is the president of a large corporation. Oleana, on the other hand, happens to be his secretary and is also the vice president to Chairman Rose's corporation. Now, it's almost unanimously agreed upon by the fan base that these 2 characters are very suspicious and could very well be the villains of these games. And if that were to happen, to be honest with you, I'm not sure how I would feel about it, given they already did the whole nice guy who's actually evil thing with Lusamine and the Ether Foundation in Generation 7, but even still, I absolutely can see how these 2 characters are suspicious, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they ended up being the antagonists for these titles. Another character who was also seen as kind of suspicious when he was first revealed was the champion of the Galar region, Leon, and the reason why everyone thought he was kind of suspicious and maybe even could be the bad guy is because it was specified very oddly that he has never lost an official Pokemon battle. Now, it doesn't really seem necessary to specify the term official in this sense if he truly has nothing to hide. So it seems like Leon might be leading us on a little bit in terms of making himself seem like this awesome guy who's nothing but good, and there might be a little bit more to him than meets the eye. Coming into our next point, we have the Galar Pokemon League. Now, the interesting thing about the Galar League is that it's both similar and different to other leagues of the past at the same time. It's similar in the sense that you have to battle 8 gym leaders in order to be able to challenge the league and eventually the champion, but it's also different in the sense that it seems to be way more of a fixture within the culture of the region than other leagues of the past. Another thing that is different about the Galar League is that you actually have to get an endorsement in order to be able to compete in the league tournament itself, and it just so happens that Chairman Rose, our resident suspicious-looking, possibly evil guy we talked about earlier, actually gave Leon, the champion of the region, who also seems a little bit suspicious, his very first endorsement. And upon competing in the Galar Pokemon League for the very first time, Leon never lost once on his way to becoming the champion. So right off the bat, it seems even more suspect that the 2 characters that the fan base have identified as kind of suspicious already have an established relationship with one another, but it actually goes even deeper than that. This is because within the Galar Pokemon League, sponsorships are actually a pretty big deal. All throughout the various gym stadiums, we see a ton of advertisements from various businesses, and we even see advertisements on the jerseys of specific trainers like the gym leaders and Leon himself. On a game design side of things, this is obviously emulating the whole football scene of the UK, but in terms of a lore and story perspective, business and industry seems to be a very big focus within the region, which is why it's contributing to the very popular Galar Pokemon League. And since we were talking about Leon having a ton of sponsorships himself as the Galar region champion, which you can actually see in one of the shots on the trailer, this very conveniently seems to coincide very well with Chairman Rose because, as I said earlier, not only is he the organizer of the Galar League tournament, but he's also the president of a very large business which probably sponsors the Galar League as well. So with all of that being said, the fact that we have 3 characters who independently all seem pretty suspicious in Chairman Rose, Oleana, and Leon, but not only that, they also seem to have some very close ties with one another, and they both seem to have ties to the very framework of the Galar Pokemon League itself, it all seems just a little too convenient that this businessman in Chairman Rose, the president of a large corporation, would be the one out of all people to endorse Leon, who suspiciously has never lost an official battle, and now is not only a beloved sensation, but is also sponsored by a number of different businesses, as is the Galar League. It almost seems as if a scheme has been cooked up between the two, where Rose uses his power and connections to essentially help Leon cheat his way into stardom, and by creating a prodigy, not only does Leon get all of the benefit that comes with that, but Chairman Rose's stock goes up as the guy who endorsed him in the first place. So given the aura of suspicion that has surrounded both of these characters, I would not put it past them, especially Chairman Rose, to have started the Galar Pokemon League Championship as a ploy to create an artificial phenomenon in order to attract the money of sponsorships and in order to give them both manufactured fame, all the while cheating their way to the top in a game that they created. Given how businesses and sponsors are playing such a distinct role in this game, I could definitely see this kind of fraud being a motive for the villain if it is in fact Chairman Rose who is the villain, in addition to whatever else they might be after. I'm also not a huge fan or follower of soccer, but I do know that FIFA, the organization that runs the soccer leagues in the UK, has been connected to a ton of controversy and corruption recently, and since that is the inspiration for the entire Galar League, I could definitely see this playing a part in the story and in the motivations of the villain. And one more thing I want to mention before we wrap up here is the fact that I could very well see Oleana being the true mastermind behind all of this, because even though Chairman Rose does look suspicious, he also does have a nice sort of kind look about him, whereas Oleana definitely looks much more sinister and much more mean in general, and I think the fact that she is the vice president might just be a ploy for her to be able to hide in the shadows and kind of pull the strings from behind the scenes, while Chairman Rose gets all of the attention as the possible true bad guy. That little tidbit is definitely a bigger piece of speculation compared to everything else we've just talked about, but that was the kind of vibe I got from her when she was first introduced in the trailer, so I just wanted to bring it up to kind of put it out there, and who knows, maybe that will actually be the case when the games finally come out. And there we have it, everybody. That is my crazy, speculative conspiracy theory on how the Galar Pokemon League might be nothing more than just one big scam. If you guys enjoyed the video though, be sure to give it a like and let me know your thoughts on this general idea in the comments below. Like I said, I don't really want to call it a theory all the way, it's much more speculation as opposed to a whole theory, but I thought it was very interesting and I kind of think all of the stars for this sort of situation line up really well, and so I wanted to talk about it with you guys. If you are new to the channel as well, be sure to subscribe because by the time this video goes up, we should be less than 500 subscribers subscribers away from 100K, which is insane. It looks like we might even hit it by the end of the week, which is just phenomenal. It's blowing my mind, and I would love to have you guys here as a part of that number, and I really think you would enjoy the content here. We have a good time. With all of that being said though, I will be back with another video on Saturday, so be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be notified as soon as that goes live. And with all of that being said, I hope you know I love you guys very much, and until the next one, I will smell you guys later.